The global pandemic has potentially changed the way we work forever. Many of us have spent the last year working from home, either in home office or in many cases in the bedroom or on dining room tables. So it's no surprise that companies are starting to talk much more about hybrid offices and hybrid roles. But before we think about that, it's really important we consider what was working before in the office and what has worked for us at home. One of the things that hasn't worked in working from home is teamwork. We know a lot of people have complained that when they're trying to work with their colleagues on Zoom, it's very difficult sometimes to get hold of colleagues. They have to make appointments or send emails if they want to connect. And we didn't see this before in offices. People were working together in the same space. If they needed to get something done, they could just get up and ask. Face-to-face interactivity actually increases productivity by 35%, exactly because of this reason. The people can just get up and go and walk, or they can chat over a coffee machine.
That's what actually leads to better output for the organization in the long term. And so there's this trade-off in a lot of cases between what do I output today versus what will the team, what will the group, what will the company output over the next couple months. And I think that's why you sometimes get conflicting signals on, okay, well, I just want to do heads down work and I want no distractions, versus I want to create an environment where more of these serendipitous interactions happen. And they're both necessary at some level. I think that balance can be quite difficult to achieve, because on a given day, on a given week, what's actually going to be most effective, it will change. But that over the long haul, really it's these networks that drive long-term performance, and that's really what I like to think about productivity at that level. Like, not as much of it as an individual concept, but much more as a team concept. A hybrid workplace model, I don't think there's a single definition. I mean, in some ways, what's really exciting is that model spans a continuum from anywhere beyond being in the office every single day, a single office every single day, to never coming in. Everywhere in between there is essentially hybrid under the definition. But what I think is really exciting about it is this ability to not blindly apply the same workplace model to every person and every team. The idea that there needs to be some norms across the organization, and then that has to filter down also to norms within teams. But the idea that for certain teams, it is going to make sense to be in the office almost every day, because the type of work they do and how they need to collaborate, you can show even with data that the way they collaborate is just fundamentally better when they are in person more. But there are going to be other groups that are going to be on one other side of the continuum, where it's going to be, hey, these groups you can actually show work in almost exactly the same way. And not just individually, but in terms of how they collaborate with their teammates, with their customers, when they're working from home. Those groups don't need to be in the office as much. And so what I'm hopeful is that what this model will actually look like is not just everybody in the entire company will be in 3 days a week and then 2 days from home, and we use that to save real estate costs. That is uninteresting and probably extremely ineffective. What I think is going to be a lot more effective is this plethora of different models being deployed within a single organization, but that also changing over time.
It looks like the hybrid office of the future needs to focus on the best things of working at home and the best things of working in the office. Working at home to focus on things like email and planning tasks. Working in the office where we can bring the teams back together to collaborate together, allow people to bump into each other and create those unplanned interactions.